Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. It is me and Zach today, and we're going to be talking about the game that's just finished, which is Rajasthan versus Kolkata Knight Riders. And we've had a bit of an upset. It's making the table even more interesting, which is good. We like a spicy IPL. Zach, do you want to talk about just the start of the Rajasthan batting innings? Because it was quite interesting.
It was interesting because it wasn't typical Rajasthan, because you look at their top three, Butler, Padikkal, Sampson, you think they're going to just fly off to a quick start, and they didn't. I think there was a maiden in the third over. And then it was actually really clever from Kolkata Knight Riders, because Butler, there was a stat about how Butler just tees off in the fourth over. And so they bowled Sunil Narine in the fourth over because he's got the lowest economy rate, and it only went for 5. So they were really struggling after 4 overs. And then Sanju Samson and Josh Butler started putting up a partnership. And I just want to focus on Sanju Samson because I said it in a previous video. I think it was the last Rajasthan game, that he frustrates me because he's got the potential. And he looked really good, and he was playing some really good shots, looked really fluid, and then slowed down. And that was disappointing to see. And I'm still waiting for Sanju Samson to give a performance to Rajasthan that is a match-winning performance, because he should be, along with Josh Butler, he should be a consistent match winner for them. He should be looking to score 3 or 4 70s or 40 balls per season, because he's capable of doing it. He really is.
Yeah, he's a bit of he's a culprit of doing like a consistent sort of 30s. Like he'll do a quick cameo 30 and then he'll go out, but he has potential for way more. You're right.
I'm not sure if it's the captaincy.
Maybe.
I don't know if maybe because Josh Butler would be a decent captain actually. They've got leaders there, so, or even Ravi Ashwin.
Ooh.
Who knows? Obviously that's something for the Rajasthan think tank, but they watch this video, so
yeah, obviously.
That hint. Maybe just think about Butler as captain. Who knows? But yeah,
and going on from the Rajasthan batting, I thought the finishers did quite well. Between Ryan Parag and Shimron Hetmeyer, they got them up to what was a bit of a fighting total, because like Josh Butler wasn't able to tee off, and it meant that he basically ate 25 deliveries, and that's a lot. Whereas Ryan Parag and Shimron Hetmeyer, quick fire cameos, which is exactly what you need from your finishers. So that's a little shining light for Rajasthan. They're definitely not down and out of this competition, not even remotely, because they're still an incredibly strong side. And they keep on getting glimmers of hope from various players. They need some of those performances again, where multiple players put their hands up in a game.
Yeah, I thought the bowling from Kolkata Knight Riders was really good, actually. I know Southey went for a few, but he picked up some good wickets. But Sunil Narine, he's so hard to get away. He's just, every game he's reducing that economy rate, and batsmen aren't looking to score runs off him. They just want to survive. And because he just bowls a very good metronomic line and length, and it's so hard. It's hard to pick and it's hard to play. And so, he's the standout, although standout for bad fielding as well. He needs to improve in that area, because he cost them some runs. So he's making it up for it in his economy rate.
He's getting on a bit, isn't he? Like he's 33 going on 50 the way he was in the field. And but when you're bowling at 4.75 and over, you can let the odd 4 slip through, I think.
Yeah, and a big shout out also goes to Anakul Roy on debut. He's been in and around some IPL squads for a few years, and I thought he did impressive, very impressive today.
Yeah. So going on to the Kolkata innings, it was quite a poor start. So that yet again they've messed with their opening partnership. They haven't settled on one yet. So it was Baba Indrajith opening with Aaron Finch, and neither of them had a strike rate over 100. Didn't look very fluid at all. But then there's a bit of a fight back from the captain. And then we had Nitish Rana and Rinku Singh. And I want to talk a bit more about Rinku Singh. I want to get your thoughts on him. But just to talk about Shreyas Iyer and Nitish Rana, brilliant. Like, just that is exactly what you need. I think, yeah, Shreyas Iyer, he slows down every now and then, but he's playing the captain's knock. He's trying to get them up to a fighting total. So, he did what he needed to do. He did what the game situation required. And then, Nitish Rana, I think he's such a class act. He's one of those fringe players that probably won't get into India ever, but he's someone that he will play match-winning knocks every now and then, and you think, wow, he's class. And then, what do you think about Rinku Singh?
Well, I love him actually. He's great. I'm part of the Rinku Singh fan club because he's a young. What you see with a lot of young players is inconsistency, but with flares of brilliance mixed in. Whereas Rinku Singh, he's been pretty consistent, and I think it's because he's a really clever batsman. When I was watching him playing Yuzvendra Chahal, who's been really good all tournament, he hit him for 2 fours in a row off one of his overs, and the way he is throwing him off his line, he comes down the wicket, he throws him off his line, and then he played a cut shot off the first ball to kind of change his length as well, and he's just got that ability to upset bowlers early in their overs, and I think that's a really big thing for him, and people need to look at him to say, oh, he's a class act, because he is. He outsmarts bowlers. He's not just trying to smack every ball for 6. He's thinking about it and playing correctly. And
he played the situation really well, didn't he?
Yeah. I thought the way he played, it was, they weren't going to struggle to score 10 and over off the last 4 overs, because they were just, batting really well.
Yeah. So what do you think about the bowling? Because on the whole, it was relatively tight. You look at it, and other than Prasid Krishna, nobody was going over 9. So usually in a T20, you'd be like, oh, it wasn't too bad. But there were a few misfields, and overall, it wasn't like amazing bowling, which I think a lot of the credit has to go to Rinku Singh, because you think about like Yuzvendra Chahal, for example, getting thrown off his game early. Someone like him can win a match from kind of nowhere as well. But they played very sensibly, I thought. What do you think about the bowling?
I think they bowled all right, but they didn't have enough runs, so the batsmen could afford to take their time. Like they only lost 2 wickets in the power play. When you're defending a fairly low total, you want to get a few more than that in the power play, and then it was just easy. It was easy for Iyer and Rana to get singles through the middle overs and to rotate strike and to not really let the game get away from them. Because if the game did, you had Andre Russell to come in, so they were never in a bad situation. And so I think the bowlers tried their best, but they didn't have enough runs.
Didn't have the runs to work with.
Yeah. The pitch was more than a 157 pitch. It was a 152, which is what this got. It was probably more 170. And so that kind of let them down in the end. But overall, a good game, especially good for Royal Challengers, because it's as an RCB fan, and as a lot of our followers are, RCB all the way. That game suits us, because when you're looking at the table, it's quite interesting in that middle part of the table, with Rajasthan Royals 10 games 12 points, Sunrisers Hyderabad 9 games 10 points, RCB 10 games 10 points, and then Kolkata Knight Riders 10 games 8 points. And there's quite a few teams who are on 8 or 10 points.
And let's not forget Punjab Kings, 9 games, also, 8 points. We're
playing tomorrow
there as well. Yeah,
playing tomorrow actually against the big boys, the Gujarat Titans, who Titans by name, Titans by nature. They are sitting pretty at the top of the table with a game in hand. On second place. So
you know what? I'm gonna make a big prediction here. Punjab are gonna do exactly what they did in the first match against Gujarat, except they don't have Odean Smith, so we're not gonna throw it away. So I'm hopeful that, because the last few games we've got players of such class that haven't performed to their ability. So I'm hoping that this game they will perform to their ability. All of them they've had so many games where they've like 7 out of 11 people that have been playing have been a bit off. This time they're all going to be on. They're going to be switched on, and we're going to see a new Punjab that looks really strong. Saying that, Gujarat's scary.
I think it depends on. I think it depends on the toss, really, or depends on who bats first. Because I think if Gujarat bat first, then Punjab are in for a chance. Because if Gujarat bat second, I think that's game over. They're just so good at chasing. The players they've got are just built for chasing.
Rahul Tewatia,
Rahul Tewatia, David Miller. They're just they're a different league. But Punjab have some really good batsmen, and I think if Punjab are chasing and they don't lose wickets early on, then that will put the Gujarat bowlers under pressure, because Gujarat have good bowlers, but they're not the best death bowlers in the league. There are better teams with better death bowling. And I think that's where teams need to target Gujarat is, can we put that death bowling under pressure? Because if Punjab need 12 and over from the last 5 overs and they've got batters in the shed, they've got the batters to do it. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Right, shall we move on to comment of the day? James, you picked out
absolutely, we should.
comment for us.
It was a really nice comment. It was from Himat Gadavi, who said, "Thank you, brother, for cricket videos," and then a few nice emojis. We appreciate the support. Thank you very much, Himat. If you want to be within a chance of becoming our comment of the day, then comment.
Yeah, do it. And
do it.
Hashtag. What are we hashtagging for this game?
It's got to be I love Rinku.
I love Rinku. Yeah,
I love Rinku.
Hashtag I love Rinku, because we all love Rinku. He's a great player. Right. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Those 2 things that you can see already. And also make sure you comment, because we love seeing your comments. Also, you can listen to us on any podcast website you like, Spotify, Anchor FM, whatever, Apple Podcasts as well. And also follow our social medias. We are at Cricket Nerds Pod. Also, you could feature as a question, right? We want to hear your questions. If you've got questions for us, they could be about anything. It could be about the IPL. It could be about Benji's batting ability. It could be anything, right? You just leave a question in the comments below, and we'll be sure to answer at least one every video. But yeah, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.